Rare skins in Counter-Strike. Okay, so with Counter-Strike skins, rarity is like, it's subjective. So every skin that you look at, every skin that you pick up is unique. It is a one of one, you know, it's like an NFT. There's only one of each in existence, so what you constitute as rare or not rare is kind of up to you. With the exception of dupes. I won't be talking about those though. Now, today I'm going to be looking at pure supply only. So I'm going to be including stat track, normal, and souvenir skins all in one little cluster. That's how I'm going to get my supply number. All my supply numbers are going to be taken straight from CS Float, and all prices listed are just going to be the lowest on buff. And just for reference here, I want to take a look at a few for you here. So we have the Op Dragon Lore. Now, how rare is it? Well, so you can see there's about 6,500 of them. 6,500 Op Dragon Lores, and that's pretty rare. Everybody's favorite M4A1S. How many would you guess? Did you guess 183,000? A number so big it doesn't even fit on the fucking screen? And again, just for reference, with the Glock Vogue, how many of those do you think there are? Did you guess 1.13 million? There's over 1 million of these Glocks in existence. Now with that in mind, I want to start by looking at the pistols. We're going to look at the rarest skin for each weapon. Let's get right into it. So starting off with Glocks, we have the Glock Fade. This is the #1 rarest Glock skin in the game. There's about 6,200 of these bad boys, and it's going to run you about $1,400 US. 6,000 Glock Fades, that's really low. Just for reference, that's about 1/200th of the amount of Glock Vogues out there. Might seem like a steep price, but for something this rare, this shiny, this colorful, this fucking disgusting, seems like a fair price for me. That's a Factorino one, 1,400 bucks. Next up, looking at the USP, we have the USPS Business Class. Of course, in the baggage collection, we're going to be seeing a lot of those coming up. And there's 16,000 of these things still. That's still quite a few, but it is the rarest USP out there. Just as the name suggests, this one is absolute class. Just subtle, off-brown coloring. Look at this leather stitching. Delightful little gun. I love everything in the baggage collection. Leather detailing. Nice, safe, cool coloring. Awesome. Awesome little gun. And for the P2000, we have this little nasty piece of work. P2000 Grassland Leaves. This thing, yeah, not much to say about it. Pretty gross. There's only about 16,000 of these, similar to the USP. It's like the Modern Hunter-esque. Yeah, we're going to be seeing a lot of the Militia Collection coming up here. 104 bucks. Minware is going to run you just 16. Speaking of the Militia Collection, what do we have here? The P250 Modern Hunter. I think this is an absolute banger of a skin. Not only because there's only 3,700 of these things in existence, or that have ever existed. I don't really understand what that number Float gives me, actually means. But this off, like green, pale green coloring, I feel like is so rare in CS skins. Not only the supply, but this color is just absolutely just elusive. Awesome pattern-based little gun. Factory one's gonna be $300 US, which is absurd. A Minware one you can get for 22 currently on buff. I'm gonna opt for that. Looks kind of like shit no matter what condition you get it in. This is a fact new one. It's float capped at 6.06. Still looks kind of disgusting, but I love the skin. Here we have the #2 rarest P250 in the game, the P250 Nuclear Hazard. About 10,000 of these exist, and boy oh boy, this is just, this is a skin. I want to look at the #2 rarest P250 because I don't want to look at 4 Modern Hunters. I want to represent kind of what else is going on in the skin world other than Modern Hunters, okay? So this is Minware, about 72 bucks. Not too bad at all, honestly, for such a rare little skin. Looks pretty cool, especially if you love green. Not a big fan myself, but it is rare. It is cool, it is expensive. Not too bad. But here we have the Dual Beretta Duelists of the Chop Shop collection, another elusive collection. I didn't even know about these before I started doing this video, but there's only about 7,500 of them in existence. And for 135 bucks, I'm gonna be honest, these are really cool, but you could be spending your money on a lot cooler things. We're gonna be seeing a lot of the same collections for these videos, so there's gonna be a lot of bonus rounds. We're gonna be showcasing a lot of #2s as well, #2 rarest. And this is not, I'm not looking into any pattern-based bullshit here. There's not going to be any AK-47 case hardened #1 scarp pattern 661. There's not going to be any of that dog shit. I don't care about that necessarily for this video. Like, it's all just going to be the clean supply amount, normal StatTrak souvenir all together in one. That's how I'm getting this number right here. And we're already on the 5.7, and of course it's going to be the 5.7 Fall Hazard from the Vertigo collection. Only 3,500 of these in existence. One of the rarest skins in all of Counter-Strike, probably top 10, just supply number alone. And of course this is including the souvenir numbers. Pretty cool freaking skin. I mean, it's 230 bucks for a fact new one. Holy Moses, if you want to save a little money, why not get a souvenir one, you know? You can get a field-tested souvenir one for under 75 bucks. That's honestly not bad for such a rare and pretty cool-looking skin. A lot of awesome stuff going on here. 75 bucks for the rarest 5.7 in the game? And complete case hardened tier 1 5.7. Now, something I should mention is that these numbers aren't set in stone. They're going to be they're going to change a lot. More of these are going to come into existence as they're traded up to more Vertigo collection packages are dropped. This might not always be the #1, which is why I also want to take a look at the #2. Showcasing the #2 5.7 is the Neon Kimono. This is an actual rare little 5.7. There's only about 6,000-7,000 of these in existence. And holy Moses, it is nice. It is pretty nice. This one has a lot more green, couple of stickers, you know, make it your own, you know, cover up that nasty little gray part you don't want anybody to see. Moving on to the CZ, this should be a surprise to no one. We have the Chalice, an infamous little trade-up weapon for the M41S Knight. And it's gonna run you about 430 bucks to get a fact new one because of how sought after these things are. There's only just 5,500 of these. Outside of the trade-up value, is this thing worth $400? Absolutely fucking not. I mean, even though it's rare, even though it's kind of shiny, like, I don't even use this I don't even use the CZ. That's cool though. I like that. That's kind of new. Cool. It's got a blue little nipple. Look at that. Well, what do we have here? Our old friend Nuclear Threat back again. $460 for this bad boy, because guess what? There's only 10k of these in the world. Obviously, I don't know how many skins are in private accounts. This number isn't exact, you know, I'm just gonna be honest with you. It's about, you know, for purposes of this video, you know, they're all relatively gonna be accurate, you know. There's less than 10,000 of these that we know of. Pretty rare Tech 9. I mean, none of the other Tech 9s even come close to this. And now wrapping up the pistol section of this video, we have the Desert Eagle Pilot. Also from the baggage collection. This is another sleeper. 130 bucks for a fact new. The rarest Desert Eagle in the game. Less than 8,500 of these out there. Just pure quiet class. Cool little stamps. Cool little just gold trim all over this thing. It is like a lot like a bronze deco, I'm gonna be honest with you. Just in the color palette, how it's shiny. Bronze deco is about 100th the price, but for $130, a deagle that they just never really see playing. I think that's a sleeper. That's a little bargain for you. Now we're on to the SMGs, and this one, ladies and gentlemen, is a certified banger. $200 for a fact new one of these bad boys. Have you ever seen such elegance in a Mac 10 skin? And only 12,000 of them in existence. I think that is an absolute sleeper right there. You never see these skins that I'm covering in game pretty much, unless you're like watching some streamer or something. They know what's up, they know it's rare. Now we're talking about the MP9, the MP9 Bulldozer. One of these just like solid, completely solid color skins you don't really see too many of, especially this color. This thing's gonna run you $530 for a fact new one, I'm not gonna lie. Minware just $157 though. And for an MP9 with just 5,500 of who have ever existed, I mean, this is mine here. The reason I'm making this video is because I'm a low supply enjoyer. Field testing one runs you about 70 bucks US right now for an MP9 that you pretty much never see. Now this one was pretty surprising to me. We're on to the MP7, and this is the whiteout, of which there's only 16,000 to ever existed. And obvious problem with the whiteout, even though this is fact new, 0.069 this one we're looking at is, you're still gonna see some wear and tear. Not a huge deal if you're actually running around shooting people. You're never really gonna see that. Absolute gorgeous little beauty. Look at this thing. Look at this thing. You can do all sorts of crazy crafts with this thing, of course. I mean, that looks pretty nice. And pretty much anything is gonna look nice on this thing. Oh, Minware one will only run you $57 right now. Let's have a look. 57 bucks. It's gonna look like this. That looks, that looks Pretty much exactly the same. There's like a tiny bit more wear. For 57 bucks, I mean, that's a freaking bargain if you use the MP7, which nobody does. And now, what do we have here? Minotaur Labyrinth. Beautiful coloring. Pattern-based colors as well. You can get all sorts of different little colors going on here. We have red on the bottom right. Fact new one, $275 about. Minware, $120. And that's because there's only 12,000 of these out there, ever. That's the beauty of these, is just you never see them. It's like somebody, you drop one of these for your mates, they're gonna be like, what is this skin? I've never even seen this before. They've all heard of the Medusa, of course. We're looking at the Oxide Oasis. You already know, probably. This is the Desert Hydra trade-up skin, 300 buckaroos for a non-souvenir fact new. And that's for a good reason. And just looking at this thing as a play skin, I mean, if you're gonna do that, you might as well just get a souvenir one. It's gonna be about 1/10 of the price. There's 30,000 of these out there. Not really on my radar, even if it is the rarest MP5 SD. We are now onto the PP Bison. And of course, if a Modern Hunter skin exists for a gun, it is probably the rarest one. This one, of course, no exception. The PP Bison Modern Hunter. I think this thing kind of looks like dog water. Let's look at it with my gloves. Actually, that doesn't look too frickin' bad. Kind of got the triple camo situation going on here. Got that beautiful coloring that I love, but I don't think it suits it as well as the P250. And it's gonna be 200 bucks for a fact new one. Minware are just gonna cost 20 bucks. There's only 2,500 of these out there, making it one of the rarest skins. You never frickin' see this thing, and it's for good reason. Who the fuck uses the PP Bison anyway? We're looking at the Rust coat. Now that was maybe a little surprising for a lot of you, because it was for me. And we're looking at about 4,000 of these things out there. Fact new one's gonna run you $26 for such a rare little skin. But it looks pretty good with my gloves though. Brown on brown, not too shabby. Well, it is shabby, but that's kind of like the appeal of it. 4,000 of these out there, not too bad. The P90 Run and Hide. I can't ever justify buying because I don't use the P90 enough, but holy Moses, this is just another banger. Leopard spotting. These detailings, so appropriate for the Ancient Collection. Factory new one, 260 bucks for one of these things. There's less than 10K of these out there. It's for a good reason. And with the SMGs out of the way, we're onto the heavy section of our loadout. First up is the Nova, which is of course the Modern Hunter. What have I said about the Modern Hunter that hasn't already been said? It's sort of looking like a hunting kind of shotgun. I do like this one a lot more than the Bison. I think the Bison might be the weakest of the four. Look at that. That is pretty nice. And I mean, there's only 2,500 of these out there. A fact new one's gonna cost you 230 bucks. Why not go to the discount store? Pick up a Minware one for just 20. Now, because I said I'd be looking at the runner-ups for every Modern Hunter, here we have the Blaze Orange. Pretty similar vibe to the Modern Hunter, but in a gorgeous orange. Just look at this frickin' thing, man. There's about 3,000 of these, which is slightly more than the Modern Hunter, but god damn. Fact new one's gonna be 460 bucks though. If you don't want to break the bank though, Minware is 27. And I think if you use the Nova, you appreciate skins like this, 27 bucks. That's pretty reasonable. Now for the rarest sawed-off in the game, we of course are going back to the baggage collection, the First Class. Now this one is a bit of a sleeper, and not in a good way. It's just like got the green, it's got the stitching, very subtle, very nothing gun. This is mine, by the way, I own this. Just 4,200 of these out there. I mean, this is an ultra rare gun for only $37. And now going over to the Mag 7, we're seeing one from the Alpha Collection, the Hazard. This one was also just pretty much off my radar. Don't use the Mag 7 very much, but 4,500 of these in existence. It's gonna run you 100 bucks for a fact new one, man. Just 15 for a Minware one though. A lot of these are not only rare, but they're pretty basic, so that you can get some pretty dank crafts in there. Here's one just on buff. Don't like that actually. Don't like this staggering. Let's take a look at this one. Ooh, now look at that. If you've got like $3,000 in your bank account and a little imagination, you could have a completely mediocre rare fucking skin. Look at that. Well, what do we have here? Another member of the Militia Collection, the XM10 Blaze Orange. Very similar to the Nova we looked at earlier. This one, not feeling nearly as much. This is a pretty rare skin, obviously, only 3,600 of these out there. For 125 bucks though, 50 in Minware, nah. This one is just not really hitting for me, but it is rare though. And now we're on to the Negev, and this one's gonna come as a surprise to pretty much nobody. The rarest single skin in the game, the Anodized Navy Negev. And well, there's not much I can really say about it. It's a shiny blue skin, but there's barely even 1,000 of these out there. And now I'm looking at the M249 Blizzard Marbleized from the Office Collection. Now this is another one that was completely off my radar, for obvious reasons. This is pretty cool though. I'm not hating on this in any shape or form. Between this busy, snowy pattern, that's a pretty cool contrast. Fact new one's gonna be 136 bucks. Obviously, I don't think anybody's gonna be paying that for a play skin unless you're as obsessive as me. Now we're starting strong in the rifles. We have the Galil Caution, only $48 for a fact new one, and this is a banger. I absolutely love how loud the skin is. 10,000 of these in existence as of right now. There's gonna become more. And take a look at this thing. I mean, there's nothing quiet and classy about this. Here's my disgusting one with a little fucking craft that I regret. You know what? Fuck it. This thing is already... Wait. Oh, not bad, actually. Maybe I did one too many, but fuck it. I'll leave it there. This is the rarest Galil out there, and it is nice. I also wanted to showcase what will likely actually become the rarest Galil in existence, and we're looking at the Galil Winter Forest, also from the Office collection. As of making this video, there's only about 200 more of these in the Galil Caution, and this thing, $220 for a fact new one, 16 for a minware. This thing is, I don't know, it's fine. It is rare. It's probably going to be the rarest Galil out there pretty quick here. And would you look at this? 300 USD on buff right now. You can get a sneaky little craft like this. It's not too uncommon. Somebody lists their frickin' low supply craft on there because nobody wants to buy them. This one though, I mean, I'm a big Krakow signature enjoyer, but this thing is, it's pretty mid. Looking at the FAMAS Spitfire. This one, super cool. This contrast between just nothingness on 75% of the skin to just red barrel, demonic airplane decor, about 170 bucks. Minware though, only 42 bucks overall. W. Next up, looking at the SG Hazard Pay, also from the Vertigo collection. Another noisy, bright Vertigo collection banger. Don't own it myself because I don't use the SG much. Also wanted to take a moment to just pay respect to the SG Bulldozer. I love this thing. I love how it's all yellow, but it's only like 50% of the gun, the main body of the gun, which leaves, you know, a lot of imagination for pretty cool crafts. 125 bucks for a fact new one of these things. There are almost 10,000 of these, which means it'll probably never become the rarest SG out there compared to the Hazard Pay, but very, very nice, very cool. We have the AUG Hot Rod. This thing is a beauty. Let's just get that out of the way first. It is a beauty. Not even 2,500 of these ever existed, which makes it one of the rarest skins to ever come out. $360 though for an AUG skin. Even though it is so exceedingly rare, and it is pretty nice, it's not as nice as the Empire 1S. It's not even close in my opinion. It still has all this non-red detailing here, which is pretty cool. It is pretty subtle. Despite being bright, shiny red, when you're actually holding it in game, doesn't look too crazy. And of course, I need to take a moment, several moments to pay respect to the Akihabara Accept. This is really what started it all for me, my love for low supply skins. It came out such a long time ago, before the other weeb skins. This was before being a weeb was at all socially acceptable, and I still wanted one. You show this to a Japanese person, they'll be confused by this nonsense that's written all over this gun. It is exceedingly rare, expensive. My single favorite skin in the entire game. The Wild Lotus. Not really a surprise to a lot of you. Everybody knows how unbelievably rare and sought after this skin is. Believe it or not, FloatDB says there's 3,000 of these out there. This number will probably change as people trade up for it, but a fact new one of these bad boys will cost you over $10,000. Most unbelievable part of this skin for me is that there's 3,000 of these. One of my good friends actually got dropped one of these during the operation. For only 3,000 of these out there, I can't believe my friend saw one get dropped for him in front of his eyes. That's just insane to me. I mean, even though I'm not a fan of like hype beast, like bright ass, like overhyped skins, you just can't deny this one is just exceptional. Wanted to pay respect to the number 2 AK-47 out there, the Jet Set, the number 1 skin in the baggage collection. This thing is another banger. Less than 5,000 of these out there. You know, I just love it. I love how it's like, it pays homage to the original with the nice like tan leather, nice stitching that is signature to the baggage collection. All these cool freaking stickers, of course. This big Canada leaf, which I absolutely love. It's extremely visible when you're actually holding the gun. Look at that. Big Canada leaf right there. Gotta rip the country. Amazing. A fact new one is 800. The prices of these things vary wildly though, and they look pretty much the same. One we're looking at right here is the fact new one. Let's take a look at a well-worn one. This one is about 250 bucks. If you can tell the difference, let me know. I fucking can't. Also wanted to give a quick shout out to the number 3 AK-47 out there, the X-Ray. And for only 5,500 of these out there, I think this is an awesome endgame AK-47 for when you finally make it on crypto, bud. Holy Moses, like this thing is bright, it's vibrant, and it's rare. I think this thing is an absolute W. You can get the cock pattern on the mag. Awesome skin. And here we are at the M4A1S section of the video, Imminent Danger. Now this one is kind of cool. It is of course absurdly rare. About 1,400 of these out there. You're never ever gonna see this outside tournaments probably. And this thing is pretty freaking awesome. I love all these little stickers that already come applied on this thing. Right in your face, loud. This gun is very expensive, $1,600 for a factory new one, souvenir one. Oh my god, just off the planet expensive. Also have to mention the number 2 M4A1S out there, the Knight. 3,300 of these out there, and it's gonna cost you almost 3,000 bucks for a fact new one. And of course, it's because it's a Dragon Lore trade up. Something that did surprise me making this video is how much less of these have been out there than the Dragon Lore. For how rare this skin is, I don't think it looks that crazy. For 3K though, I'd rather pick up another Akihabara myself. Because the M4A1S is so popular, I also want to take a second to talk about the Welcome to the Jungle. Just under 4,000 of these out there. A fact new one is going to run you $2,200. A souvenir fact new coming up close to 10 grand for this thing. Oh my goodness. This one is just, well, it took a bit of an L coming from CSGO. Still though, really nice skin. Very, very rare. Very sought after, and for a good reason. It's fucking nice. Look at that beautiful snake. Moving on now to the M4A4, we're going to be talking about the Modern Hunter. It is of course the rarest M4A4 skin out there, with $270 dues for a fact new one like this. Now this one I just detest. Even a fact new one has got this disgusting amount of wear all over the bloody gun. This is the lowest float one on buff right now, and it's still got this disgusting marking. And guess what? It's $300 for this freaking thing. I don't care how rare this thing is, I'm never gonna own it. I'm gonna have a daybreak over this thing every single time. Have to mention the number 2 M4A4 out there, the Poseidon. An absolute beauty. A lot of you probably already know about the skin, obviously. 7,500 of these out there makes it quite rare. Rarer than a lot of skins we've actually covered here. And $1,000 for a factory new one, I think this is a very respectable endgame M4A4. Rare color. It's got this bright ocean blue. This weird bubbling and this spear, like, detailing. Unique. Weird. Rare. All the things I want from a skin. If we're going to be talking about rare M4A4s, also have to mention the Daybreak. And there's almost 20,000 of these out there. Listen, I'll concede. It's not extremely rare, but for 230 bucks, this is an unbelievable, gorgeous M4A4. Okay, here we have a .001 float. It's unfortunately still got some wear and tear on it, but holy Moses. If you tell me this isn't the most gorgeous M4A4 in the game right now, you have no taste, okay? You just have no taste. Okay, I know, I say that with $200 gloves, but like, if you say this isn't the most gorgeous M4A4 out there, I think you're probably just have garbage taste. You just have a garbage sense of taste. That's all I'm gonna say. And now, making an entrance for the snipers section of the video, we have the G3 Chronos, also from the Gods and Monsters collection. This one is just an absolute freaking banger of a skin, and only 3,000 of them out there. There are so many unbelievable M249 auto sniper skins that we just never see. Not only because this one is exceedingly rare, but like also because nobody ever uses these guns anyway. So why would you spend 200 bucks for one of these? Well, to trade it up to something nicer. Unbelievable. Just look at this thing. It's unique. Something quite like this on the market. There's not a single one of these without stickers. Oh, for God's sakes, this thing looks like crap. Now we're on to the Scar 20. We're of course looking at the Splash Jam. This is the only factory new one with few stickers. It's just gonna have a little Clan Mystic Cato 14 on it, I guess. Now, a factory new one of these is $1,700, even though there's almost 10,000 of these in existence. Factory new ones, I think there's like 50 of these in existence. I remember from like Anomalies video, this is not really gonna be worth it. You're gonna want to pick up a Minware one if you actually use the Scar. Minware one's gonna run you only 33 bucks as of right now. Now we're onto the Scout Mayan Dreams from the Alpha Collection. This is a fact new one, but it looks pretty disgusting. Not too bad though. It is the rarest Scout out there. Oh, that looks kind of cool with my gloves, and yeah, about 15k of these things out there. It is a rare Scout, but yeah, not too crazy. Coming in at number 2 though, in contrast, we have the SSG Death Strike Scout. About 17,000 of these out there, and a fact new one is gonna run you about 500 bucks. But holy Moses, this is an absolute banger. White to orange gold gradient. Oh my goodness gracious. It really just doesn't get much better than this for like skin arts. This is probably my favorite art on any Scout in the game. Cool little scorpion guy here. Awesome, 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 awesome skin. And for the number 1 rarest op in the game, we of course have the Prince. Aptly named. This is an unbelievably rare skin with less than 3,000 of these out there. I think it's pretty cool. $3,600 cool? That's a bit of a different question. It's a little bit goofy with the scope detailing here. For me personally though, I would probably opt for this extremely high float bad boy. As you can see, the scope almost completely gets etched off as you get to like 59. This one with the crown foil on it is 4,700 here. Pretty freaking awesome. Looks pretty much the same here. It's gonna be a bit darker, but I like this a lot. Now the number 2 rarest op out there, the Op Gungnir. You already know this thing is an unfreaking believable skin. 3,300 of these out there, a fact new one running you about 11,000 US dollars, making it by far the most expensive rare skin out there. What can I say about this skin that already hasn't been said? Unbelievable amalgamation of styling and coloring that just somehow, you know, kind of works out. It's kind of cool. It is pretty nice. Many people would consider this the number 1 op, and for good reason. It's legendary. You could buy a nice car for this frickin' op. It's that nice. And lastly, to wrap up the video, we have the number 3 rarest op in the game. Of course, we're talking about the Op Medusa. Now, I am an Op Medusa hater. I swear to God, you could get a better op skin for 10 bucks on the frickin' Steam market. Would you rather spend $5,000 or spend the price of a sandwich and a coffee at a cafe for an op skin that's nicer than this thing? However, I have to pay respect where respect is due. It is a legendary skin. It is very rare and it's very sought after. And very shiny. Oh, it's shiny. It's blue. Oh my goodness, I have to have it. Not too bad though. 5 grand. Anyway, if you made it this far in the video, I just want to say thank you. I don't know why you watched the whole goddamn thing. That's actually insane. And as you can see, I am a low supplier enjoyer. I got the business class with the melee craft. I got the caution with the melee craft. Got the bulldozer, red leather, first class, silk tiger, Akihabara, sand dune tornado, modern hunter. All these are pretty low supply skins that I enjoy, that I love.